All right. Depression of freezing point, we are taking for the three liquids here. The pure solvent, we are taking it here, then the solution 1 and the solution 2. Now, liquid 1, which is a pure solvent, it freezes as earlier as compared to the solution 1 and solution 2. Reason solution 2 here is at higher concentration. So when we talk about the liquid, that is a pure liquid, all right. So this is for the pure liquid, which is at a temperature TF, point A, and having a vapor pressure T naught. Now, when solution 1 freezes it out, having vapor pressure P1 at point B and temperature we have taken for the pure liquid TF, and for this we can take it as T1. Similarly, for solution 2, which will be freezing at its lower temperature, so this will be for pressure, vapor pressure 2 at point C and a temperature of T2. In the elevation of boiling point, it goes on increasing the boiling point. Liquid, then solution 1 it increases and solution 2 it increases. But here, for the freezing point, for the liquid temperature TF, then it will decreases to T1, then for solution 2, which is at higher concentration, it will be at a point T2. So you have a relationship between the temperature and the vapor pressure of different liquids. So the solution which is at higher concentration, that is solution 2, that will have a temperature of freezing point at T2, point C. So when we were doing the boiling point elevation of boiling point, so there was the change in elevation of boiling point for solution 1, change in elevation of boiling point for solution 2. Similarly, here also we have, just like delta TP, we have delta TF. So we will go through for the delta TF. So depression of freezing point for solution 1. What will be the depression in freezing point of solution 1? Depression in freezing point. All right. For say solution 1. What it will be the for solution 1? Yes. Anyone? You're all muted, so you have to raise your hand for that. Who is there? Ayanur Rahman. Yes, Ayanur.
TF minus T1.
TF minus. This is for solution 1. TF is bigger in temperature as compared to T1. So TF minus TA1. All right. This is for delta TF1. Similarly, for solution 2, solution 2 is here. Delta TF2. So that will be is equal to TF minus T2. All right. So this is about the depression on freezing point for solution 1, and this is for solution 2. Correspond to TF minus T1. So TF, T0, and T1, T1. So vapor pressure, that is P naught minus P1 for solution 1. And similarly for solution 2, TF P naught minus T2, that is P naught minus P2. So this is according to the graph, but we are seeing it here. All right. So change in depression of freezing point for solution 1 as well as for solution 2. Now, so what we will do, we will go for now from here expression for deriving freezing point, just like we have done for deriving it out elevation of boiling point. All right. TF minus T1 for solution 1. And for solution 2, TF minus T2 will be equal to P naught minus P1 is equal to P naught minus P2. So delta TF will be equal to delta P, right? So delta TF will be equal to, because this will be delta TF1, delta TF2, so we have directly taken delta TF is equal to delta P, right? Where P is the change in, delta P is change in vapor pressure. From here, we can conclude it out that delta PF is directly proportional to delta P. All right. Now, according to Raoult's law, we have done so much numerical for Raoult's law. So according to Raoult's law, we know P naught minus P upon P naught, which is the relative lowering of vapor pressure, mole fraction of solute, number of moles upon number of moles of solute upon number of moles of solvent. So we can exaggerate that, and that can also be written as W mass of solute upon molecular mass of solute, and this is capital W for mass of solvent upon molecular mass. So this we are practicing for so many times. Now delta TF is directly proportional to delta P, just like delta TB was directly proportional to delta P. So according to Raoult's law, in place of this, we can write it as P naught minus P upon P naught. In place of this, we can write it this also. So delta TF, that is equal to W upon M dash upon capital W upon M, which is a molecular mass of solvent. W upon M dash into M upon capital W. Now this is a small one. I'm using a small one like this. All right. Delta TF is directly proportional to this one. what we got it here. Now, this is a molecular mass of solute and this is a molecular mass of solvent. So from here, delta TF is directly proportional to delta P. We got it? Now, delta TF that can be is equal to P naught P upon P naught. And in place of that, we can write it out there, W upon M dash W upon M. Right? So something the here, what we have, delta P, delta TF is directly proportional to there. Now we are missing it here, P naught. That can have W upon M dash upon capital W upon M. All right. So P naught minus P, we have delta P upon P naught that can be done as W upon M dash into M upon W. We can write it out. Delta TF is directly proportional to this and delta P upon P naught is directly proportional to this. So in place of from here, delta TF and this delta P, both are correlated there. All right. So either we can write it delta P upon P naught is equal to W upon M dash into M upon W, or we can write it here delta P is equal to P naught into all the equation will come here to W upon M dash into M upon W. Now, this is a constant for a particular liquid. I have told you an elevation of boiling point, and one more thing is constant, that is this one. So either you can replace it this one, delta TF, or you can delta P, because from here delta TF can be replaced by delta P also, and delta P can be replaced by delta TF. So I have shown for both the equation this time, for delta TF also and for change in relative lowering of vapor pressure. This is a lowering of vapor pressure and this is relative lowering of vapor pressure according to Raoult's law. All right. So similarly, P naught and molecular mass of the solvent, this both are what? Constant. Got it? So what will happen here, since both are constant, so delta TF is directly proportional to this also. This is constant, you can write it here. So what will be left? Sorry, this is constant because this is a molecular mass of the solvent. Now this can be treated as delta TF, this equation, delta TF directly proportional to, now what is left here? W upon M dash into capital W. And if capital W is the mass of the solvent in 1000 gram, then that whole equation can be replaced by the molality. That also we have done. Delta TF is directly proportional to small m, that is the molality. And replacing that delta TF with the proportional constant, we have KB was there in terms of depletion of, in terms of elevation of boiling point. Now here will be the KF. And so delta TB was there, delta TF here. There was the delta TF. There was here it is a KF. There was a hygroscopic constant or the molar elevation constant. Here KF will be treated as molar depression constant. Elevation was there, increase was there. Here depression, decrease is there. So molar elevation, molar depression constant. And this molar depression constant is also known as cryoscopic constant. Molar elevation constant was known as hygroscopic constant, and this we call it out as cryoscopic constant. All right. Cryoscopic constant or defined as molar depression constant. Now, what it will be when the molar solution is equal to 1? If the molality of a solution is 1, then what will happen? This Kf will be is equal to delta Tf. Means molar depression constant will be defined as equal to depression of freezing point. Delta Tf is the depression of freezing point. That will be equal to molar depression. When the molality of a solution is 1 or the molality of the solution is unity. All right. Secondly, the same unit Kf have just like the we have for the change in molar elevation constant. Similarly, Kf also have the same unit, molar depression constant. Centigrade, Kelvin, kg per mole, same unit, you can find it out here. For finding the unit and their definition, this is important. If they ask you the definition and their units. So delta TF delta TF is equal to molar depression constant into molality of the solution. So Kf will be is equal to delta TF upon m molality of a solution. The moles, molality, you know, number of moles of solute per kg of the solvent will write its unit, and delta TF will be in the either in the centigrade or in the Kelvin scale. All right. So you have the unit that is K molar inverse, centigrade molar inverse, or Kelvin kg per mole. So all three units you have. How you define Kf? So Kf, that is a molar depression constant, is equal to change in depression, change in freezing point when the molality of a solution is 1. Either you will like this definition or second definition they have given, that molar depression constant is the depression of freezing point produced on dissolving 1 mole of a substance in 1 kg of a solvent. Both the definitions are acceptable and their unit. You can find it out from here. All right. Any problem till here you can ask. All right. An aqua solution freezes at 272.4 Kelvin. Pure water freezes at 273 Kelvin. Right? Now what we have to find it out first, the molality of the solution. 272.4 Kelvin freezes given, and while pure water freezes at 273 Kelvin. What does this statement mean? Pure water freezes 273 and aqueous solution freezes 272.4. What does this statement mean? Anyone? No one raising hand. Now the first two raises will give the answer. Who is there? Anushri is there, right? Yes, Anushri.
So depression and freezing point.
Depression in freezing point, when we are pure solvent में something is added to their freezing point decreases, means the solution freezing point decreases. So solution point, pure solvent, they have given water they have taken, so that is 273. And in solution, when electrolyte is there, then what will happen? Their freezing point will decrease, and that is they have given 272.4. It means delta TF, we got it as 273 minus 272.4, that is 0.6 as delta TF. They directly, they don't have given you the delta TF, but they said solution is there, water they have taken, their freezing point they have given. All right, that is 273. All right, 0.0 Kelvin, and the solution, that is 272.4. Means solution, means some sorts of solute are there, so their solution freezing point decreases. So delta TF, we got it as 0.6, and we have to find it out the molality of a solution. So delta TF, we got it according to this formula. Delta TF is equal to Kf into M. Now, delta TF, we got it as 0.6 Kf. Kf is a constant. It means its value is fixed for a particular question, for a particular solvent, and they have given it. Now, how much they have given? Kf, that is 1.86 into M. From here, you can find it out. Molality is equal to 0.6 upon 1.86. You all have the calculator. Tell me how much it is coming. 0.6 divided by 1.86. Yes. I'm the one who will raise first. Unmute him.
So 0.322.
0.322. All right. That is a molality of a solution. Second, what they have, we have to find boiling point of solution. Now, boiling point of solution means boiling point of that particular liquid, pure solvent, plus delta TB, that is increase in the elevation point. So first we have to know the boiling point of a pure solvent as well as delta TB. All right. So now we have a relationship between delta TB is equal to Kb into molality of a solution. So Kb is a constant. For water they have given, yes, 0.512. Molality of a solution, we have find it out, 0.322. So delta TB, we will get 0.512 into 0.322. Hurry up. How much? Yes, Gaurav.
Sir, 0.165.
0.165. So this we got it delta TB. So BP of a solution they have asked you. The boiling point of a pure solvent, they have mentioned it or not? They have not mentioned, but they have taken as a water. So how much it is? 373 plus 0.165. This will give you 373.165 Kelvin. So this is the boiling point of solution. So all the questions are correlated. All right. Now the third one, what they ask you, lowering of vapor pressure of water at 298 Kelvin. Lowering of water pressure. Vapor pressure, lowering of vapor pressure of water. Again, now you have to go through for the Raoult's law to find it out this. Find it out fast. Yes, Tanisha.
So done by the formula that P naught minus P by P naught equals molality into mass of the solvent 1000.
Wait. P naught minus P upon P naught into
So equals molality
molality
into molar mass of the solvent
into molar mass of solvent.
by 1000. Sir, in the question they are asking P naught minus P, so I've done cross multiplication.
All right. P naught they have given, molarity you have find it out, molar mass you have find it out. So you have done it with the help of this formula.
Yes, sir.
P naught minus P delta P. That is equal to how much they have given? 23.756.
So the
Is equal
value
to
of P naught
molarity
they
we
have
have
given.
find it.
Yes, sir, it is correct.
23.756 and molality we have find it out 0.322. Molar mass of the solvent water we have taken. Either you like this or you will go for P naught minus P to 23.756 minus P. This now you will get it P. All right. So in this way you have to solve this.